Hi,
Hello.
Mark and Michelle here.
Hi.
Oh, you sure you said that?
I did.
I'm sorry. Today we want to talk to you about blogging. More specifically about why companies should have a blog. Why businesses need blogs. I just finished writing a blog post. How interesting. We're tying it together. I came up with 9 reasons why businesses should blog. I'll hold it closer.
I don't need to see it.
I'm sorry. I'm not going to go into details because the blog will do that for you. But one, it helps drive traffic to your website. 2, converts traffic into leads. It establishes authority, which you can answer questions from customers before they even ask. Long-term results, because your blog is there. It's permanent. It's not going anywhere. It's free advertising forever. You don't need to be a professional web designer to create a blog, especially in Kolatu, which we'll touch on in a minute. It creates rapport with new customers. It helps them to get to know who you are, what you're doing, why you're doing it. You can help. If used properly, you can build employee morale, and I'll touch on that in a minute. I was telling Michelle about that earlier. You can tell your story, your company's story. Most people know what you do, but they don't know why you do it. Like back to the why. And last but not least, Google likes blogs much better than static websites. Because the more you change and the more you index your blog, the more posts you put on there, the more Google goes, what are they doing? And they check you out more. And then Michelle had something too.
Well, this is also it's really really good for small businesses, especially because you've got those big corporations out there that try and squeeze out the little guy. And so the more responsiveness and communication that you have with your customers,
the big box retailers,
right,
all right,
the better. And so also a good thing for blogs is to highlight a product of yours, like a product a week, or give special discounts if they visit your blog and and give you this word or whatever when they order, or go into the store and show them your blog and whatever. I mean, there's so many ideas that you can use blogs for.
Tons.
And I mean, if you want to see an example of an about, like about your business or why you're doing it, then do an about page like Mark and I did. Why don't you go ahead and click on the home page or the about us, and it'll bring you to our about us page that tells you why we're doing what we're doing.
It even shows you a video,
right,
of us talking about why we're doing what we're doing. I was thinking, when I was telling Michelle earlier, when I used to run a facility, we used to have a bulletin board. This is 10 years ago, so blogs were not huge like they are now, but we had everybody post pictures of their family or articles of accomplishments that their kids did, and we made a big deal out of it. And they had it was like a big blog, but it was like it was a bulletin board with the push pins or bubble gum, whatever it took to hang it up there. But I was thinking you can do something like that on a blog. Get your employees involved, enacted. Employee is your biggest asset. I don't care what company, what business you're in. Your employees, even if it's you own your own company, you are your biggest asset. We are our biggest assets.
Because think about it. If your employees are not treating your customers right, are they going to come back?
Ooh.
So, your employees are your biggest asset. You need to make sure they're happy, and sometimes that's very difficult to do.
Most times.
But if you start acknowledging them for their accomplishments or their family's accomplishments, or praising them in your blog, it might help go a long way.
I also think it's cool if a customer goes on your blog and they see some of your employees and they walk in the store like, hey, I saw what your daughter did. That was cool. You got instant rapport. You got upsells. You got people getting along. You got people returning.
Yeah.
I'm talking about just retail stores, but even any kind of business that you're in. People know your people. That's what it's all about. People, selling to people, buying from people, getting to know people. dealing with people.
And if you have, even if you're not a retailer, if you're a lawyer or an accountant, you know, you can highlight why you think everybody needs this kind of insurance or that kind of, you know, that will or need to do this with their finances. Or I mean, it's endless.
Right, and also the other thing I just came to mind was, you know, products change like that. But you know, not just electronics, but anything. The new thing will be out in 6 months, and a new thing will be out. You know, and it's just ever evolving. And with a blog, I mean, website you can do put a new static page on there and just let it sit there. A blog you can say, hey, here's the new thing coming next week. Here's check this out, see what this does, and you know, it's like I said, it's free advertising that will be out there forever for as long as you want it to be. So
you know, and blogging is not. Whenever Mark brought up blogging, to me it was a diary, and I am not a journaling diary kind of person. Never have been, never will be. But nowadays, I mean, people use blogs. What is the statistic? I don't even remember the statistic, but a lot of people use blogs now for marketing. And every big box corporation has a blog. Every one.
60 to 70%?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, I saw that this morning.
Most bloggers, 60 to 70% of bloggers now are using it to market.
They also said that 70% of people make their decision on what they're going to buy after reading a blog post.
That's right.
Something to think about. So that was what we wanted to talk about. Check out the blog post, which is going to be below, you know, where the video is, telling you all about our you know, Klaatu Premium and just how easy. That's the other thing. It's real easy to blog.
Easiest.
You don't need to know how to code. You don't do. You know how to. You got to be able to click and point, or point and click and point. And
easier than
type it all.
WordPress.
It is, because it's done for you. Yeah, you don't have to go through all the different gizmos to figure out exactly which one you want. They pick out the best and they tell you and show you how to use it, and that's pretty cool.
And then you can customize it to what you want after. So anyway,
pick the colors, pick your pictures, whatever you want to do.
All right. Well, I hope you have a good rest of the day.
Bye.
See you tomorrow. Peace.